I slept. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I've learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter of past actions I grieve, but grievance never really mattered. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water where it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
Table full of white powder. Welcome anime enthusiasts to Squad Nero, the ultimate destination for all things anime. Whether you're a seasoned otaku or just taking your first steps into the captivating world of Japanese animation, you found your home. I'm Rob, aka Sage, and as always with me today, I got my brethren. I got Chef D, T Smooth, and Croco, and we have a special guest, a recurring guest on here. Give a round of applause for Otis, all the way from Blurred, tapping in with us again on this very I was about to make up a word on this very interesting weekend that we have here for Superman. We are your guys through the vast realms of creativity, epic adventures, and heartfelt stories that anime, animation, and gaming have to offer. Join us each week as we dive deep into the latest releases, explore hidden gems, and discuss the hottest topics in the Blur community. Get ready for a journey filled with laughter, tears, and an unbridled passion that makes anime a truly unique art form. Without further ado, let the anime odyssey begin. As y'all heard with that intro, we got O back up in this thing. So just want to give a round of applause again for O for joining us in. Again, appreciate you as always, me brethren. How's everybody doing?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm wondering what y'all be crying about though. You see, what is striking you with so much emotion that you have to cry about it? Talking about nerd stuff, like how does that happen?
I don't know, you know.
Hey,
I mean, sometimes
it depends on what the thing you want to stand on. It might be very passionate.
It do depend on the stories. To be honest, Berserk Man, I feel like made me shed a tear, just off of the tomfoolery that's happening there.
Yeah, they didn't have to do Griffith like that.
Yeah, huh? Griffith? Huh? Hell no, they had to do my man Guts like that. Fuck Griffith.
Wait, you want to be in Guts? What are you talking about?
All right, guys, we are in episode. I don't even know. Which episode? 72? 72. Episode 72 up in this thing.
Dupes.
We got a big show for y'all today. Not that big, but obviously we all know if you've been under a rock, Superman did come out this past weekend. And it's been a hot topic with us on the pod. It's been a hot topic with a lot of our guests as well. And even y'all in the comment section. So before we do anything, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're coming from the YouTube side. We greatly appreciate anything. Even if you want to comment with us, we will be talking with y'all while we do these podcasts as well. So don't ever feel too ashamed to get in contact with us, say some comments, say that you think that we moving stupid or anything like that. We appreciate all levels of commentary.
Cracked out tied out sign.
I can't come up with anything else. All right, y'all. Superbad. How y'all feeling about it?
Oh, who do we want to go first? Do we want somebody? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let D go last.
Let him go last. Okay.
I can start it, I guess.
Okay.
If we do it.
No. Let our guest start off. He had high things to say on Facebook about it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that it was an overall well done movie. I thought that they gave us an alternative, start to Superman instead of getting the typical, origin story of him struggling with his humanity, blah blah blah. We got to see like a Superman actually deal with a competent threat for once, one that like actually can challenge him. I know some of the later complaints you're gonna hear from the host of the show is like that he fight like that's a complete 180 from every other Superman movie where he's like literally having to hold himself back the whole movie remotely. So I appreciate that Gunn actually provided him with a challenge for once. I also appreciated that the cast was actually relevant. It wasn't just like Superman having to save the day for when he actually needed help. I appreciate that we got a villain that was actually competent that could like be a challenge for Superman for once because like that's never get usually too easy. He's usually going against like a mountain more so than a person that actually like can fight back to some degree. I'm glad that a Lex Luthor that actually had like adequate materials to give Superman a real challenge and not just like some half-cocked plan that's supposed to stop essentially a god. No, he attacked him from a moral standpoint, from a physical standpoint, and from a personal standpoint. Uh, a lot of highlights about this movie. It was a bit campy in spots. I wish they would have been a little bit more serious in some like the heavier. But outside of that, I thought it was a really well done movie.
What's your
8.5 out
rating out
of
of
10 for
10?
me.
8.5?
Yes, sir.
This man said it was the second best film after Sinners this whole year to come out.
Yeah, no question. I don't think there's anything close.
Even beating F1? I don't think we've seen
I still haven't seen F1, but I'm excited to see that. I'm excited.
All right, so we got to see that F1. So we can, and then we'll bring O back on to see if he still keeps the same verdict on that. What about you now? How you feeling?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the stuff that O said. I gotta before I actually do get into my review though, I said, and I'm gonna try to be as much of a man to my word as I possibly can, that if I enjoyed the movie, I would come back in here and say I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I was totally wrong about this Superman movie. A lot of the things that were presented in the trailer, they still were things that I felt like existed throughout the movie, but I think the way that James Gunn handled it was way better than I anticipated. One of the things that I noticed was that I could tell from the trailer that the characters would be done different. Obviously, the most notable in that one is Superman, is Clark Kent or Superman himself. But as I actually watched the movie, I started to actually enjoy the Superman. It felt like the changes that they made towards the characters that we've either seen in previous iterations of DC cinema or in the comic books, it was more justified than I think I thought it would be. This is something where it was, when if you don't like some of the quirks to the Superman in this movie, I think you just kind of got to look at it as, there's what would it be like for early 30-year-old man in our current generation? You may get some of the same similarities with this Superman. And I thought that once I accepted that and didn't allow that to dictate how I felt going throughout the movie, I ended up coming to very early into the film, coming to actually appreciate the Superman. So that was something I noticed in the trailers, and I was very critical of it when it was in a trailer form, but in the film form, much more enjoyable, much more. It was much more of a acceptance from me, at least in that regard. I did think so. Now, after seeing the movie, I do understand what they were trying to do in regards to the All-Star Superman. I know James Gunn said that there was a lot of influence from All-Star Superman, the comic book run. Rob, you correct me because I know you just read this or read this recently. Was that Grant Morrison that did that one?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Grant Morrison's run. I have read it before. Watching the movie, it is very similar to All-Star Superman in the sense of it's a lot that's happening. It's here's one scene, here's another scene. It's more fast paced of a story, and I felt like that was captured here. I thought that I would not like it in terms of a cinematic translation, but I thought it was done fine. To O's point that he had said before, the idea of the characters, the idea of us not, like us not just having a film solely be about Superman. Going into the movie, I didn't like the idea of this. I wanted it to be more about Superman, but actually watching it in the film, I came to appreciate the characters. And more than that, I came to appreciate where if this is going to be a larger universe, the world building that this movie was able to provide. I do have a question, but I'll ask that at the end. I want to just kind of go through my notes here. Um, Actually, I got a couple of questions. The parts that I enjoy simply is just the relationships. I thought that the dynamics with the characters were done very well. Whether it was the pseudo Justice League that had Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific, I thought that if this is again supposed to be a larger universe, that like the casualty of their relationship that they expressed in the movie was very, very well done. Lois and Superman's relationship I thought was very well done. um I know everybody, I know when we came into it, the more nerdier comic book fans, we were kind of questionable about exactly how crypto was going to be used in the movie. I didn't think that the use of crypto was that bad. I didn't have any problem with it. I felt, and that's another thing that I really enjoyed about the movie. I don't feel like anybody had too much time to shine. It felt like everybody had a decent amount of time to shine for whatever, for what they were trying to accomplish in this movie. And it was smooth. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel wrong. It felt smooth. The things that I didn't, in terms of the things I didn't like about the movie, really go back to relationships as well. And it's only really two sets of people who I have that opinion about. I did not enjoy the relationship that Superman had with the Kents. It was fine, but I do think that this was an example of where James Gunn put a little bit more of his own personal experiences in regards to that relationship. Um, I think that we will get stuff like that with James Gunn, but it wasn't enough for me to hate the movie. And as well as that, the ending with, or not the ending, but the portion with Superman's birth parents, and specifically what Jor-El and his wife has. I can't remember Jor-El's wife's name, but the idea of them taking over, or Superman taking over the planet and breeding more Kryptonians, it felt off. There may be a Superman story out there where Jor-El and his wife had darker intentions on Superman's landing on Earth, but for most of the ones that I've seen, it's normally that he has good intentions. So I know that might be a little bit nitpicky, but I just it's like if they made Uncle Ben a enemy, like for Spider-Man, if they made Uncle Ben like have some messed up thing to say, it would just feel weird because it just never felt like that was the intentions of his parents with them coming to Earth. I will save my questions for when everybody goes, but I give it I think I'm cool with settling on a 7.5 for this movie. That's all I got.
All right, 7.5. All right, we got an 8.5 and a 7.5. Real quick, I'm gonna go over some things for this Superman movie. I'm kind of in the middle of Otis and Niall in regards to my rating. It was a couple things that did strike me off guard. I should have said spoiler alert as well before. I was gonna try to keep it non-spoiler for the first view, but it's already too late now, so we might as well go to the spoiler. So,
Yeah.
if you haven't been gone to see Superman, just wait, go see it, and then you could come back and watch this. Or if you just don't care, don't care, and continue to watch it. Special effects was on point. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing the fortress from the get-go, even though we already seen it in the trailers, that joint did kind of give me a little bit of goosebumps seeing that in the theater. Outside of some of the flying scenes, basically all of the special effects look dope. The river, I can't remember what it was, antimatter, I believe, the antimatter river, the black hole, the fight scenes, the powers for individuals, just everything. It looked pretty good. Most of the story wasn't bad either. It's just James Gunn has a propensity to throw jokes a lot in his fucking movies. And I would have hoped that with Superman, at least the jokes wouldn't take me out of the serious tones. And I believe Otis actually brought this up at some point in time. Like sometimes the jokes just were poorly timed in serious moments where now I don't even feel like this moment is as serious as it should be now because there was a joke placed in there. Like I didn't really like it.
Hey, buddy,
Um,
eyes up here.
yeah, that I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
I was like, really?
Mr. Terrific. People might hate me for this, but I promise you, outside of him fighting, the one-liners was really pissing me off. I'm
A
not
little
gonna lie,
cringy.
because it was like, what's the word? What's the word? Token black dude. I felt
Thank
like
you.
this. Felt like this was fucking Luke Cage, bruh. Netflix Luke Cage talking. I'm like, bro, why is this nigga the smartest nigga on earth? Why is he talking like this? Not to say that a nigga that's smart as this can't talk like this, but usually if it's a nigga this smart, he will find other ways to be able to say the same things. Like have him say shit in a more intellectually sound manner instead of just saying shit or anything like that. Now some of the parts was cool when the dog was was chasing his little bots and the nigga was trying to tell him to come on. That shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie, but some of the one-liners I'm sitting here like, bruh, I don't know if a
So
nigga wrote this character or not. And
I
I
can't
could
lie.
tell.
Mr. Terrific felt like RDJ in Tropic Thunder. A lot of those.
Dead
Yeah.
ass. Dead ass.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like this is taking me out. Like I'm looking at this nigga take out this entire camp by himself, just using some orbs and using his intellectuals. Why the fuck is he talking like this? It was starting to take me out. Jimmy Olsen being the bad big hitter. I guess that was prominent in the comics, so I can look past
No.
that. The monkey
Nah, it
toes or mutant
that was
toes,
another character change, kind of. He
mutant
was a lot more
toes.
chill in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, mutant toes. Fucking the nigga Superman sulking while Dimensional Imp was on the loose and was just like, oh yeah, the other niggas have to be able to take care of him. Like I'm not expecting Superman to be even when he's sulking. I thought he was the nigga that's supposed to still be fighting throughout that. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Secret Harem and the change to his backstory kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I feel like I don't want to put this on James Gunn, but how he chose the same exact backstory as a Invincible, and Invincible just recently came out, I don't think it was a good idea because Invincible is still so fresh in people's minds, and you change his backstory now to have his I was about to say Viltrumite. The shit too goddamn his Kryptonian parents sending him just like they would in Invincible. Marking all of them shit. I mean, it's not too far off, and I think that's a dangerous game to play, I feel like, for this. Luthor is evil. I'll give that is probably one of the biggest highlights for me for this film was Luthor. Lex Luthor. And then I had a question too that kind of caught me off guard. If his parents sent Clark, if the whole premise of his parents sending Clark to Earth was for him to fucking take over Earth, why isn't his cousin conquering as
I
well?
don't think she got a message. Remember, the half the message was recovered by the engineer. They only had that half.
True, but she technically was more ingrained in Kryptonian
Kryptonian
culture.
culture.
Is it just because they knew that the Earth was dying why they sent him on this mission, or have Kryptonians always been this kind of like medieval race that was conquering different worlds and creating a harem? Because they was talking about that shit like this is nothing new to them.
It honestly,
Mm,
real simple answer for it. It could just be the influence of her cousin. We don't really know how long, based off what we've seen, they've been in contact with each other.
That's true.
It could be very similar to the recent Superman animated series,
That's true.
where she was bugging. She came to Earth and she was bugging, but after spending some time with not just Superman, but Lois and Jimmy and the different, like, just the different heroes and the people that were helping out in the animated series, she came over to the good side, and she was brainwashed by Brainiac in the animated series. So
Mm-hmm.
it could have been something where they followed a similar timeline with that, whereas she did come here with the original Kryptonian message of uh conquer, and she just said, Clark and Superman was like, nah, that's not about to be how you get down. And now we just seeing how everything else go. But to your defense, what about the dog? Like, because she, in the movie, it was
The
her
dog
dog.
was on Demon Time the whole movie. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Clark had to
True.
remove that nigga before he ate the cows. So
He just
or killed
seems
the
so
cows.
cheerful though. Like, if the dog would have been on Demon Time, like Kryptonian Demon Time, I would have
came on
thought
some
that he
Cerberus
would have been
status,
more.
on some Cerberus
Yeah.
I know,
status.
like tunneling through walls.
But he
Like-
was playing. He was like a puppy. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
can't say the dog was on Demon Time. It was just that he wasn't trained, and that the
Yeah, he was
ending
not a
showed it
puppy,
when Supergirl showed up. Like she never really trained him to be a domesticated dog. Like he's just having
That's a good
fun.
point.
That's all it
Yeah.
is. He's just having fun.
Nonetheless, I think I give it at this present point in time, and just like Niall said, I did starting to lighten up before this before this movie started to come out. I did starting to lighten up on James Gunn. Maybe this is good, but I was super critique heavy on James Gunn and his ability to be able to make a good Superman film. I was wrong as well. I give it an 8 out of 10. Despite all of the shit that I named, I think overall it was still a good movie, and it gets people excited for the DCU for the future. 8 out of 10. If we get it again and I watch it again, it might boost up to an 8.5. I don't know. I'll have to watch it again. But
Yeah, I think my score could change too.
all right. So we got the 3 people that had a positive, I want to say positive, more so positive
Reception.
review, yeah, for Superman. Now we got 2 out of the party that thinks otherwise. So whichever one of y'all want to take the reins, go ahead.
Well, since these is way lower than any of ours, I'll go first. I gave this movie a 6 out of 10. I ended up walking to this movie with a open mind, because as much as we've talked about leading up to this, literally verbally tearing this movie apart before we even seen it. I don't know, like the cheesy one-liners, it felt like a copy and paste Star-Lord, with how his emotions got in the way, especially in that scene where you have an imp fighting. Oh, they can handle it, and he's sulking over the daggone dog, trying to find the dog, just like how Star-Lord would be over Gamora. These cheesy one-liners that you could even tell he had adaptation of Guardians of the Galaxy with the 80s music playing during some of the fights, or was it that one fight that played? With Mr. Terrific.
The punk rock, the pop rock, whatever.
Yeah, that punk rock that was playing. I don't know. It was just those one line like, "Hey, buddy, look up here." The daggone dog saving him 4 times. I get it, James Gunn. That man's best friend. You're trying to highlight the dog way too much, like, and then trying to have a funny moment how he captured the dog and hypnotized him chasing after flying squirrels. It was like little things that kind of annoyed me, especially with Metamorpho, where it took him seeing him kill a random falafel guy that only gave Superman food once for him to be like, hey, you can get my son, right? No, he could have got your son after he left. Like, innocent man could have been alive in the situation, and y'all would have been escaped. The one thing that killed me, I get it. Say said the CGI was perfect, but in my opinion, certain things were crisp, some things were not. So the Fortress of Solitude, fire. I give them that. But that pocket universe, when they were going into like that water or whatever it's called, what was it called?
Antimatter River.
The Antimatter River. It felt like the world from Shark Boy and Lava Girl from Spy Kids. That's how I felt looking at that. Minecraft. Like, like y'all could have made that a little bit more crisp, like to make it more dangerous, because it didn't seem like it was hurting them. Because from Mr. Terrific saying that if we touch that antimatter, it can really hurt us. Those soldiers that fell in, like there was no consequences for them doing that. I can understand Superman because he's this all powerful being, and the baby because the baby like his father is like this that could change to any type of matter type of alien, but those soldiers falling in, there was no consequences. Like they're still fighting Superman. Get him, he's still weak. Like nothing's happening. Their armor's not breaking down for falling in. It's a lot of minuscule things that like was left open ended. Especially the message that his parents left. That wasn't fully confirmed. That if that second half, it really was
multiple times.
It really wasn't.
It was multiple times.
So you're telling me people of Earth know how to speak like Kryptonians, down to the T. They really.
They just use linguistics of different languages that they already know. And then you got Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest niggas in the entire DC universe, that reflected the same sentiments. Nobody doctored this shit. This is exactly what they said.
As well as Lex Luthor, he stated that he stated at one point, he said, I didn't think that it would be his parents that would actually lead to his downfall. And I mean, he didn't outright say it, no, but he insinuated that they didn't do anything. But here's the thing, though: when Engineer was utilizing her nanobots and was floating up in the air, listening to the message, trying to piece it together, what if she lied about it? What if she lied about it? Everything, every indication from the film, though, is that wasn't the case.
But
from
at the end of the day, Lex Luthor was a number one hater. She wanted to do anything for him. I gave my life to you to be able to do this. Like, she could have lied about it.
Terrific lie too.
Yeah. They would have had to doctor the video. They would have had to doctor it.
He did not get the video from them to break it down.
But they would have had to doctor it from the get-go before they even dropped it. If they dropped the same thing, then it would have had the same message that it has now. If it was doctored, Mr. Terrific would have been like, it was doctored. This isn't what your parents actually said. Mr. Terrific said it wasn't doctored.
It was never shown that Mr. Terrific went and looked at it himself.
He talked about it.
Mr. Terrific said that his colleagues wouldn't verify it if it was fake.
Yeah, and everything pointed towards that it really wasn't fake.
It was
that
real.
Was the genuine message.
It's honestly
now if you say you don't like the message, I agree with that.
I'm not saying I don't like the message, but I've seen many different stories in different movies where situation as a message comes in and that message is not what was stated from the get go. Like I get it, Superman only heard the first half, the second half was messed up, but then all of a sudden Engineer can fully break that down and they give it to linguistics for it to all of a sudden within like what it seemed like 24 hours they were able to figure out what was being said.
This nigga Lex was a generational hater.
That's my thing. He could have lied about the whole thing.
If he did, something would have been doctored in the process. Even Mr. Terrific said nothing was doctored, so he wasn't lying. He just found the perfect scapegoat for this nigga.
Oh my god. Well, I live on my stance on that one. Y'all, that's my opinion on that situation. But
I mean, it's not even about an opinion. Like that's what was stated in the movie by several sources within the film. Mm-hmm. That's just you denying facts at this point.
Nah. And the one thing that like
he said, "I'm standing on this.
I'm
shit.
standing on this one on business." And when the interview between Lois and Superman, that was so cringy and awkward because their relationship started to come into play in this situation where they're going back and forth, back and forth. No, you can't use that. No, you can't use that. Oh, that's me working on my one-liners. Don't use that. That's off the record, on the record. It felt like a very awkward conversation with them trying to do this interview. I get it. They're trying to show their relationship. But honestly, I don't know. Superman needs to go to somebody for that interview to work a little bit better. I understand it was showing like their relationship and stuff, but let Jimmy Olsen do it. Let Superman, let Clark
Let
Kent
the
come on.
cameraman do it.
But then but my thing is, wasn't he able to get an article out at the end of the movie though?
He got the article out, but
my
got
thing
the
is,
sources.
But my whole thing is, at the end of the day, like, have someone else do it. They could have had Homeboy do it. It's a lot of reporters in the Daily Bugle Daily Planet. Wow.
I think Superman. What James Gunn was trying to do is Superman was still in his infancy stages as Superman. It was only his 3rd year as Superman. So, of course, he's going to be still wet behind the ears in regards to the American political scene because
that shouldn't be that makes no sense though, bro.
But because he operates different, even though he's a human, he still makes mistakes. That's one of the biggest messages. He technically is somewhat kind of human. He has human characteristic. He has a human fucking
He was raised
philosophy system. He was raised by humans. He has a innate connection to humans. Regardless, the nigga, fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. Go ahead, continue. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
And I hate to say it, my favorite thing about that whole movie was the Justice Gang, with them going back and forth on the whole name. That was my little bit of comic relief besides that daggone dog. Like, I get it, Crypto, the robots didn't really care if he lived or died. That was probably another funny part. But they try so hard with those one-liners with Superman. Mr. Terrific, I get it. I understand y'all plight with that one, with how cringy with his one-liners is. But I kind of like Mr. Terrific at the end of the day of this movie. Like, he was cool to me. I like the way, like, his fight scene, he was just swagging with it. Especially with the music in the background. Like, it really showed that you couldn't sleep on this man, because when you first see him, he's just sitting in a chair while you got Green Lantern and Hawk Girl like beating the crap out of like that kaiju. He's just sitting there in his thing, like controlling his robots. You never got to really see him fight. I felt like that fight scene was really cold because you wouldn't expect that out of Mr. Terrific, especially the way they portrayed him in the CW universe, the CW universe. He wasn't as exciting as he was in the Oliver universe. Like, this Mr. Terrific with fire. And I like that he flexed his smarts, his intelligence. That was I really enjoyed every piece of that, because you don't really get that out of like black characters usually. Usually it's just go do this, go do that, and we just go ahead and do it, just show off that we can, and then move on to the next scene. See, Homeboy busts through. Yo, I can close this thing up. I got the codes. Nah, man. And mushed him in his face. Mushed him. I am Mr. Terrific, gosh darn it. And went ahead and started like closing up the hole with the codes to close up the rift and everything that was split in the city. And watching, I was pretty much going through some like TikTok videos, and I found that Straw Hat Goofy did an interview with the actor that played Mr. Terrific. He was supposed to just push him out the way. But he asked him, he was like, yo, is you okay with it if I mush you out the way? He mushed him, but didn't mush him as hard as he did in the movie. And James Gunn said, cut, do it again. Like, for him to take that on, like, even as an actor, to be able to do something like that, to make it more profound, to show that he is that dude with his smarts, I thought that was kind of cool. Now,
Pro factor for mushing a nigga?
pretty much, like, no. Like, my thing is like, yo, get out the way. I can handle this. I don't need you. That's what I meant by that. Not
The idea of him being able to
Yes.
stand on his own feet
Yes.
without another character
Something
having
Superman couldn't
to
do.
compliment
Right.
him. Yeah.
Yes, Taryn.
Oh,
What are you doing?
I'm giving my
I'm just trying to make sure I understand this correctly here. So, like, you respect the intelligence of Mr. Terrific shown throughout the movie, but when Mr. Terrific says that, you know, this is a verified video, video source that is not Dr.
No, that's story wise. That's what I'm talking about. Because I've literally seen way too many movies where it could be some crazy message that's supposed to be for the main character, and some pro antagonist takes it, flips it, saying, "Hey, this is what it's saying," when in actuality it's not, and they don't have the true answer of what it said. That's my whole thing. Yes, in the story, yes, in the story. But here's the thing. In the story, yes, I get it. It's everything is said because it's in the story. But I'm saying, like, off screen with things going on, like, we don't know. Maybe in Superman 2, they might say that the message, his cousin
They're
might.
going to revisit that again because it's too small of a moment to care about.
But I'm just saying,
They're
they
not
could.
going to say nothing about that to you.
I understand that, but they could. They actually have his cousin here, and she can probably go ahead and go back over and say if it's real or not.
But that doesn't matter though. At the end of the movie, everybody was like, "Fine, Superman's back. Fuck it."
But that's the thing that
Lex is
bothers me.
evil.
That, like,
Yeah, that's a terrible part of the movie.
Goodness. Ugh.
I remember what I was saying too as well. The scene with the goddamn Lois and Clark joint. One, personally, I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie. In the trailer, it did seem a little off, but once you got the full context in there, Lois is just really good at her fucking job. She was asking the questions that most competent journalists would ask. They're gonna ask the difficult questions.
Mm-hmm.
Superman just wasn't properly trained in that. You could still see he's wet behind the ears, but you could still see he has like a kind of like a boyish outlook on the world and how it's supposed to be. He thinks that everything is supposed to be good, that people are supposed to be fighting for each other, that all of this shit is not supposed to be happening, and that the moment something bad happens, he has a duty to stop it. But when you factor in, not looking from a boy's lens, but from a man's lens, when you factor in politics, when you factor in the outlooks that it might look from a certain select of people and everything like that, it's a whole lot more what's the word? It's a whole lot more difficult. Complex
Nuances.
to try and combat a certain ideology or a certain action that a country might take against another.
And that just sounds like the average 25 to 35-year-old white man.
No,
it does.
It doesn't.
That nigga
everything
that the movie. Goddamn.
Yeah, go for it.
He said 6
Well,
out of 10. Go ahead.
But my whole thing is, with going back on that interview, was the fact of, at the same time, it still showed like it was a little bit cringy because their relationship came into play while she's asking those difficult questions, trying to do her job. Because remember, at the end of that, where Clark leaves, she says, "I don't know if I can do this. I never knew if I was good for this." And she's talking about the relationship in that interview, kind of like tested them. That's what I'm like.
True.
It was a normal relation. Like that is the case of a normal relationship. It's just he's Superman. It's just he's Superman. That's it.
Y'all have an argument. Some shit could happen, and that shit might get blown over at that point in time. But then once some time passes, hey, that shit was silly as fuck. I love you. That shit happens.
Oh, this is some good cocoa. Okay, go ahead, D.
Hearing y'all niggas talking about this movie, it just makes me believe that this 2 out of 10 score is correct. And a few things I just want to point out on a serious note. At the beginning of the movie, we see that metahumans have been around for 3 centuries. The strongest metahuman appeared on the world stage 3 years ago. Are we following this?
Yeah.
The strongest metahuman. This is the strongest metahuman that needed the help of the Justice Gang with a hawk girl with a mace that couldn't do shit to a kaiju's eyeball, with a Green Lantern that doesn't have the willpower strong enough to puncture the eyeball of a fucking kaiju, and Mr. Terrific, the token black nigga with the circles. Excuse me, not circles. They T-spheres, bitch. That's exactly what he said. Lois Lane said, throw your circles. This nigga said, circles is two-dimensional. These are spheres, bitch. T-spheres at that. This nigga was basically James Gunn. I agree with Rob. At first, I liked Mr. Terrific, but it was iffy about it. I was like I always go to the movie. I'm like, let me go with an open mind. At first, I'm like, it ain't as bad as I thought it was. Seeing Mr. Terrific do these one-liners, being a typical nigga, it was like he should have just been speaking jive from that point. On some Pootie Tang, he should have just been speaking jive.
Shout out to
like, honestly. I like Guy Gardner. I didn't like Hawk Girl at all, screeching. Then she had wings. James Gunn said they were organic wings, but then she was reading a newspaper. Then she didn't have the wings. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, Superman's the most powerful metahuman, but the Justice Gang is sitting in this Hall of Justice, not giving a fuck that Superman has been taken and not even looking for him. So then it's like, okay, so what is their relationship with Superman? They know his identity, but they aren't going to look for him, right? Then there's other things throughout the movie where it's like, okay, you know about hypnoglasses, you know his identity, you know identity. Hypnoglasses, how are hypnoglasses going to work if I look at Clark from the side of his profile and see that he looks like Superman? Then when he turns around, what is he going to look like? Fucking Billy Ray Cyrus? So what's going on? Then we got Perry White smoking a fucking cigar as the city is being torn in asshole. The city is being torn in half, and Perry White smoking a cigar, talking about some, go on, what you got on, Lex? You still got that spaceship upstairs? How many people can it fit? Steve, you going. Cat, you going. We all going. Nigga, what? The city is being torn and you worried about a paper? Are we serious? Not only that, but Steve Lombard didn't have to be in the movie. He had one line talking about, oh, your shit isn't like sports. It's like, but like, I get James Gunn does his comedy shit, but he could have had Steve Lombard out the movie and then the girl with the blonde hair out the movie. They added nothing. And then it's like the serious moments. I get y'all like Crypto. I didn't like Crypto because it's like, yo, like you saved Superman so many times. Yeah, he fought off Lex and the Engineer when they first got in there. But when Superman is saving baby Joey, he says, save the baby. And Superman, you can hear the distress in his voice, save the baby, Crypto. And Crypto's flying in, and then it's like it stops. The seriousness stops because he just starts licking the baby. It's like James, like this is a scene where we need Crypto to be that hero, to do some shit. Like what the fuck? Not only that, this was my one gripe about the third act. Why the fuck Superman is depowered by the kryptonite? I get that. One thing about that first. We all see that Superman is the most powerful metahuman. He stands for hope. He is all good. Lex Luthor says the whole world loves him. He came on the scene recently and the whole world loves him. The whole world. So Superman stands for hope and the whole world loves him. Metamorpho couldn't say, you're the guy that can save my son. You're fucking Superman. Instead, he holds the kryptonite and Lex leaves. He doesn't just depower and just say, hey, I'll make fake kryptonite, but I want you to rest up and go save my son. No, they bring in fucking Baljeet, the falafel nigga, and be like, yo, we're gonna play Russian roulette with this Baljeet nigga. I saw him save you once you fell 800 feet out the sky into the subway system, and he went down there and grabbed you. Superman, give up the shit I want, or Baljeet dies. In 2
Is that
bullets,
his name?
No, it's not his name.
Molly.
That's,
Molly.
I was like, there
Molly.
goes our.
Molly.
Yep, there goes some potential.
Wherever it goes, and then it's like he kills him, and Superman is sitting there with puffy eyes, puffy lips, on the verge of death, and then you hear Metamorpho sobbing. I didn't think he would just kill him right away. What did you think he was going to do to your son? I didn't think
over
he
there,
was just going
like,
to kill.
Homeboy holding his son like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, the dude is holding his son, and then Lex kills him, and Metamorpho's crying. I'm like, you've been poisoning Superman for what seemed to be a few hours.
The nigga.
Quite literally kill it. I'm like, you had enough kryptonite in the palm of your hand where Superman on the ground wheezing for air. And you talking about some, why are you still looking sick? Nigga, you've been poisoning him for hours. And then he's like, I can't create the sun, but I've got the elements to do it. Then just fucking do it. Then you got niggas in the boxes next to them talking about hey, he's doing something. Y'all, he's trying to break you out of prison. So you mean to tell me all these humans realized Superman was in this box and didn't think that, oh my gosh, we have hope now that Superman is here. He can be the one to get us out of this shit. No, they start screaming and telling people that Metamorpho is doing something and Superman is doing something. What the fuck is that? What the fuck are we talking about?
And they defense though, like if somebody trap you in a pocket universe, that might rattle your nerves a little bit. Like
yeah, until I see Superman, nigga. Sorry.
Superman in the same cell as you.
No, Superman
that don't scare you. That wouldn't.
No,
I mean, that wouldn't put a little fear.
We know Superman is all good. Superman in the same cell as me. Superman didn't get weak until the nigga started making kryptonite. At that point, when the nigga started making, if they can hear everything going on, and Superman says, "I need the sun for my power." First of all, Baby Joey should have been dead. The nigga across should have been like, "Wait, I don't see the green kryptonite glowing. Your son is about to get it." No, he just sits there.
That's not accurate because they already saw Superman being carried unconscious into a field.
Yeah, that was kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Man, I don't get, but they shouldn't. I feel like they shouldn't just be like the greatest hero of all, the greatest of all metahumans, and spread all of this hope shit. And then I really didn't like.
Yes, the greatest of all metahumans right here on my face. I'm probably gonna act right too.
Nah. I'm gonna be like, yeah, Superman finna get me out of here. He's the symbol of hope.
That just shows how evil Lex Luthor truly was to everybody, including Superman, but to even the other people as well.
Now,
because they were more afraid of Lex Luthor. Goddamn. My bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's not evil. He's just petty. Most of the people within him.
He's evil. Lex is evil, but I really did not like the change of the story from Jor-El and Laurel, or whatever the fuck the mom name is. And it was like having Bradley Cooper be Jor-El wasn't some shit where everybody's like, oh shit, Bradley Cooper. It's like the nigga's just reading some Latin bullshit off a screen and we get the rest of it. And it turns out, like you said, it's like some Viltrumite shit. And then my thing is, once they defeated the kaiju and the people turn on Superman like, oh, fuck you. You just been trying to get us on your side. Boom, boom, boom. Then at the end of the movie, it's like, people just trust him again. It was like, yo, like there's no rage, there's no anger. Like, how do you still know you can trust a man just because Lex Luthor was arrested? Like all of your anger, all of your worries are just gone now because Luthor was arrested. And it's like, bro, like this shit just kind of all over the place. And my thing was like the Lois Lane and Clark Kent. I thought that was a pretty good scene because I was like, okay, there's a different dynamic. We see her doing her shit and we see him thinking just because I'm Superman, she's gonna be all giddy, and this is like, no, nigga, like she's got real questions. You went over to another country and stopped the war because you said people were going to die. Okay, like you just can't do shit like that. Like you should fucking know that. You're 33 years old. Like this not a 27-year-old Superman. You're 30 fucking 3. So you were 30-year-old nigga. You should have some type of political understanding of shit you can and can't do. You feel what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't just be, oh, I'm gonna just fly over to Egypt and stop this fucking missile. And like, no, nigga, like, relax. Just fucking relax. And it's like, yo, like, they just had this nigga doing all of this random shit during fight scenes. I get saving the dog. That was, cool. Superman is gonna save the dog. Hey, get out the way. Get out the way. Let me use freeze breath and gently blow this nigga out the way. Then he saves a fucking squirrel?
The squirrel was a little like, all right, we ain't need to see
you have this nigga saving a squirrel? So you mean to tell me, okay, he's saving the dog, he's saving the squirrel. How come he ain't go save no fish when the fucking ocean was being split in half? This nigga's just sitting there doing bullshit fighting Lex Luthor bots. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, you got the bitch on the bridge and her car won't start and Superman stops a building. And I'm like, okay, he did that for one bitch? There's other people dying. Buildings are being torn in half. Skyscrapers are falling over. And then they got the kids in fucking Kahndaq raising up a fucking flag screaming Superman. And you're like, oh yeah, Superman's going to swoop in and save the day. He's going to be that symbol of hope. Guy Gardner? Huh? What the fuck?
He had his hands full,
yo,
bro.
If this nigga Superman, if this was a Superman movie, bro, we would have been fucked. If he was the only hero in this movie, the world would have been split in two.
But I think that point right there,
that
I
was
think
the
is
point.
important.
Hey.
Exactly.
This
I think
nigga
that's
said
the whole
Superman.
thing.
No, I'm talking about from the trailers. You can't talk about I want to James Gunn. I'm on your ass, bitch. Talking about I want to bring Superman back, the Superman I grew up with, and you got the kid on the fucking flagpole screaming Superman, Superman, and then Guy Gardner swoops down. Sorry, kid, Supes can't come in. You got to upgrade though. And then Hawk Girls walk around with a mace, doing what? Screaming at niggas? Are you kidding me? And you got Metamorpho just being Sandman. What the fuck is going on? We got Sandman, fucking Banshee, and Green Lantern just giving Tank middle finger. Are you fucking kidding me? The best part of the most action we seen was some Guardians of the Galaxy bullshit when Mr. Terrific had T-Spheres going around fighting niggas like he was Yondu with the flute whistle knife.
Damn.
It's like, goddamn.
That is.
How much Guardians of the Galaxy shit we finna get in a Superman movie?
That is
And it's like, damn, he went to the pocket dimension for a fucking dog? We like, you think about the movie. Where's the dog, Luthor? The fucking dog. And Luthor's just like, ha ha ha, I got you, bitch ass nigga. I got your dog in a pocket universe. Huh? Nobody is niggas is batting the eye like they hear pocket universe every other day of the week. And Mr. Terrific's like, God damn it, he actually did it. A pocket universe. He created the Big Bang. I'm like, yo, it just felt like the shit Lex was doing. I feel like they should have spent a little bit more time on that. And especially with him getting Superman's DNA in the clone. We could have did without the engineer this movie. If you said the clone and been like, how is he getting access to the Kryptonian files? Show like the clone's DNA being able to put his hand or put his eye or retina scan or some shit to get these messages out. The engineer ain't do shit but cuss in Spanish, flip around with some saw blades, and put some nanites in this nigga mouth. And it was like you could have flushed out the fight between these niggas in the stadium, had the mask off, had Superman fighting his clone in a battle, and it was like, no, Superman's just gonna dive bomb. How did he fight the kaiju? He flew up in the air and fell on his back and gave the kaiju a concussion. How he finna fight the engineer and his clone? He gonna fly up in the air and just dive to the ground. 3 years as a superhero and that's your finishing move? What the fuck are we talking about? This nigga don't got a punch, kick, elbow combo, nothing? We just gonna let this nigga die?
Hey, D, just remember, A1, C45, D8,
Bro,
F20.
let me get to that real quick. The nigga Superman was breaking the sound barrier to get back to Antarctica to find a dog. He was breaking a sound barrier. And you mean to tell me Lex can be like, all right, he's come around this corner at about Mach 3, A4, B26, Z8, H22. What the fuck are you doing? And the thing is, his whole crew of supercomputer scientist niggas was acting like they was doing good for the world. Who was that nigga they had? Who was the nigga was like, that's it, ladies. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. And they start cheering. What? What the fuck? What? You niggas was button mashing and beat Superman's ass. And now we just sitting here like, yeah, that's Lex Luthor for you. What the fuck was that? Like, I don't understand what the fuck. And then the LexCorp niggas showed up at the end and we just, bro, I don't understand. Physics clearly don't exist in this universe. These niggas was about 3,000 feet in the air. They get laser burned when they was fighting Superman and they fall to the ground and they survive. What is going on here? Superman is fucking weakened by kryptonite and he says, Crypto, save us. We're going to a black hole. Save us, Crypto. Crypto don't listen. Superman, who's in a weakened state, by the way, turns around. He's like, fuck it. Since I can't fly in this river, I'll turn around and use my freeze breath to push me away from this black hole. Are you fucking kidding me? Do I look like a fucking retard, James Gunn?
I was asking questions like,
you got that much energy
away?
to blow you, baby Joey, and a fucking dog away from a black hole, and you didn't just fly away in the first place? Metamorpho is a floating head with a gas body, a tentacle body, and he can't hold his son when he morphs? What the fuck are we doing? The niggas make it out the fucking black hole spot. Why is Lois Lane even going into the Phantom Zone shit? What was you about to do? What
Well, that's why they stopped.
To do? Yeah, I thank Mr. Terrific being a token nigga. He's like, I know my limits. I am not finna just fly over there. Chill. But it's like, yo, where was the nigga that patrols the shit? Mr. Handsome. The nigga that had Superman on the where was he the whole time? He was just like, what the fuck? And then how many niggas was in boxes in the Phantom Zone? For what reason? Nobody's reporting these bitches missing.
I'm just saying.
We got monkeys typing on keyboards. We got Superman crying because super shit make him feel a certain way. Like, what the fuck? This pussy ass nigga.
Don't
say that. You know how it makes me feel. I don't keep up with social media. Yo, you are 6'5", indestructible. You fly at Mach 5 speed. You do all of this superhuman shit, and you mad about super shit, you bitch ass nigga. I'd have smacked fire from that nigga. That shit pissed me off the whole movie. That shit, I'm telling y'all, I'm just ranting right now. There's all of this shit that's leading up to it. It's like, bruh. And then the thing that really pissed me off, it was like when they killed the kaiju, and he was like, guys, come on, guys. We could have took it to an intergalactic zoo. We could have.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Shut up, bitch. They had to kill the kaiju. And then the nigga saved the Asian lady. He flew in at 700 miles an hour. Boom. Gave the bitch whiplash and nothing happened. He's like, take a few deep breaths. You'll be all right. No, she's not all right. You just broke her fucking neck. Are we? I'm looking around the theater and nobody, bro, fight scenes, nobody's clapping. I'm like, yo, like, I guess we all on one accord because what the fuck are we watching? This nigga, bro, Superman just doing.
It's a James Gunn movie. It's a James Gunn movie.
They was just doing shit. Why are they sitting in the Hall of Justice just sitting there? They ain't about to. They not cleaning. They not putting shit up. They not looking at other shit.
I think a lot of
reading the newspaper without wings on her back. Excuse me.
This nigga Derek sound like he's nitpicking. What's a movie that you enjoy so we can pick that apart to the same?
No, I like a lot of movies. I'm just saying and the thing is with these scenes, we look in the trailers like, okay, this scene, this gonna happen. It's like, yo, like you see the full scene in the trailer. They fought the kaiju in 3 minutes. The nigga took 4 steps and he was killed. Superman sulking because I can't find the fucking dog. They got it. They'll save the day. Guy Gardner was fighting for his life, fighting that damn orb.
Yo, using a bat. A bat.
You seen that Green Lantern ring flash about 100 times in that conversation. He was fighting for his fucking life.
All right, hold on.
Shout out to Cole Red real quick. Yeah. He been listening the whole time, and this shit just made me laugh mad hard. That was probably Derek, but we appreciate you as always for stopping on by.
Yes,
obviously we're going over Superman. All right, so what's your number rating, D? Out of 10?
He might drop that from a 2 out of 10 to a 1. He might drop to a 0.
I'm not gonna be too harsh. There was some shit I liked. Like Rob said, the CGI wasn't as bad as we thought. Besides Baby Joey, but the reason I really took this shit down to a 2, I did not fuck with the score at all. There was no memorable parts in the movie where I'm like, this is a score that's making me really feel like I'm immersed into the scene. It was like damn.
I might agree with you on that part. Yeah, I agree with you.
It was
on
like,
that.
okay, cool. It was like the 80s Superman shit, cool. Like I like that score, but it was like, other than that, where's the score at that's making me like feel like I'm part of the action and doing shit. It was like, damn, I really feel like if David Cornstalk was given a better script, it would have been a better movie. I felt like this shit was too cheesy. It was too much Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn. Tell me if I'm wrong. If y'all seen from all these cameos we had, if you seen a fucking Shaggy and Scooby cameo in this movie, would you have been surprised?
Nope.
Fair.
No, you wouldn't.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying. It was like the whole tone was like, God.
Yeah,
damn,
it was definitely a James Gunn
joke.
movie.
That nigga
but like, all right, D, hear me out for a second. For DC, like where DC was at, right? If a James Gunn movie worked with the masses, could you understand? Hold on, I think it muted. I don't know whether that's you or me that got muted.
No, this is muted.
No,
I couldn't hear. Maybe it's lagging. I don't know, but
I think D mute himself. Okay, no.
Yep, there he is. There it is. it was a Hail Mary getting James Gunn for how for where DC was at. I mean, they just wanted somebody who would come in and have better direction. James Gunn's comic book movies do very well, and and it's not like, I don't think that we got to look at this film and think this is the Superman that we just are permanently going to have for the foreseeable future as long as it's under James Gunn. I think there is still an opportunity that they could have a more Superman emphasized movie in the future. This is just, I think, just a way to kind of like not be as critical of it is just to look at it as this is just them trying to open the door. A lot of the movie was them trying to introduce us to different characters and such. And that's how it felt. It felt like I want y'all to understand Superman in this world, but more than that, I want y'all to understand this world that Superman is in, because we're trying to do more with it. What do you think about that?
What was your question?
Just what do you if this was just an introduction, excuse me, and we could still potentially get a Superman, a more emphasized Superman, serious Superman movie down the line, does that make you feel any better about this movie?
Only if James Gunn is not tied to this shit.
Damn.
It's possible in the future.
If this was a Booster Gold movie, it would have been a 9 out of 10. But it ain't Booster Gold.
Would you take this? So far, we only have Superman. Would you take Superman over any of the shit Sony has dropped outside of the animated, outside of the MCU?
Sony?
Yeah.
Like, is it better than the Sony movies? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nigga. I don't like none of them shit.
Okay.
As long as we got that.
You thought I was gonna be on?
No. I knew you wasn't. We just making sure we putting in the context for the folks here.
I just hold this shit at such a high regard as a Superman film, where it's like, okay, you starting off your unit. Well, God forbid, I don't think he's starting the shit off of Superman, because apparently Blue Beetle part of this universe. But anyway, I'm like, yo, like, to have him lose so many fights and not be a symbol of hope. And it's like, I understand he needs there should be other characters there, you know, along the story of showing that he does need help sometimes. But it's like, damn, every time he needed help, he ain't even stopped the rift. Goddamn. I was like, damn, how he gonna do this? Oh yeah, no. Why would he do it? He didn't do anything today. He didn't do anything the whole movie. He lost every fight. If you said we need somebody right now to stop Darkseid, I'm calling fucking Crypto.
He couldn't. No, yeah, I think that's what they're trying to illustrate. Is it's just very early on. He 3 years in. It's not just him. Like the other characters that we saw, a lot of them were all over the place for the most part. Mr. Terrific was a genius.
3 years is 3 years is OD to be fighting for 3 years and just getting your ass.
Yeah, but okay. At the same time, though, if we took Mr. Terrific is a genius. He knows he should be able to kind of figure out what's happening with everything with Lex. Because if I'm correct in the comics, he's smarter than Lex. I'm not sure. They might be the same on the same level. I think
he's the third highest intellect in the DC universe, if I'm not mistaken.
But in this film, it felt like he was still trying to kind of get a better understanding on the intellectual capability in this universe as well. I think that's like a big part of the movie. I feel like a theme of the movie was they are all still just trying to figure it out. Like it doesn't feel like being a superhero and knowing what their position and role is.
No,
the Justice League, as in, you know how you said, okay, going back to what you said about the Justice League, they in the Hall of Justice and they did absolutely nothing. They just sitting there, right? A more established Justice League, right? I do agree with you. I don't think they would just be sitting around like that. But this is a Justice League that's owned
by Maxwell Lord. That's why they had the same suits.
More reason to say that's why they, like, in terms of where they position is supposed to be as heroes, it doesn't feel like for really any of them they're in that set position yet in this film. It feels like we're gonna get more material.
If they had a different director, it really would. I feel like there was
maybe.
I just really feel like there was probably too much shit going on, bro. We did not need Hawk Girl at all in this shit.
It was a lot of shit.
Very minimal role with her.
It was something that kind of stuck out to me usually we get like, especially in All-Star Superman, this was probably the comic run. This is one of the few Superman comics that I've read, but it really showed off his intellect in a manner that I wasn't familiar with from Superman. That was one thing that I feel like was missing out of the movie. It didn't really show off his intellect like
But
that.
that was also a more established Superman. That was a Superman at the
That is
end, where
true.
this was a Superman at the beginning.
That is true. You got a point there. He did.
It depends
there
on when
is
you
kind
say
of
like. I'm not trying to compare like Zack Snyder. I'm saying in Man of Steel, the nigga, when you talk about inexperience, he was Superman for a day and snapped Zod's neck. That was his first day on the job. This nigga been around 3 years. 3 years.
It
It's a
is
different
33-year-old male.
it is hard to give a nigga grace when he is in his 30s and then he has had put 3 years in. But at the same time, I feel like Batman wasn't even his best 3 years as being Batman. Although, albeit Batman is a regular nigga, just a rich regular nigga, it's hard to give Superman that fucking leeway when he's like Derek was saying, this nigga 6'5" chiseled nigga is an alien nigga, could fly at the speed of light, basically impenetrable to every substance known to man outside of kryptonite, like
And nanotech, apparently.
and nanotech as well. Like it's hard for niggas to give him leeway when he should be so much better at his job at this point in time.
Yo, and I think it's hard for me to give him leeway because when they said James Gunn was taking over, I was like, okay, cool, he taking over DC. When they said Superman, I'm like, fuck. But he's like, I want to get Superman right. I'm like, okay, cool. We go in All-Star Superman right. We go into a man that's Superman. Okay, we like the cast on David Cornsweat. James Gunn did so much fucking talking. You like, oh yeah, he got Superman down. His Superman gonna be he ain't gonna be no bitch until he was.
They was hyping it. I mean, but that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that for a movie that you try and
Yeah,
get
but he's
people to
talking
go
about the
to.
character in a whole different light. He was like, this is an established universe. This is Superman who's 3 years in, this and this and this. Okay, 3 years in, he's been exposed to other metahumans or supers, whatever you want to call them. And it's like, damn, this feel like Superman's first month.
I think if we give it some time, and by the time they release the Superman 2, I think this Superman will be a lot better and a lot better equipped for fights, for the political element, for his own emotional stability in regards to people not liking him or anything like that. I think he will be a lot better. I think from what especially in the beginning of the film when they did the Star Wars kind of like pan credit scenes and everything like that, this was his first time that Superman ever lost. So it could have been a huge shocker for him from the beginning of the movie all the damn near to the end. The nigga was catching L's left and right. The niggas around him was catching L's left and right. The people that he cared about was catching L's left and right. Like, this was the first time he had such a huge problem on his hands within his life. So,
but that wasn't stated though, and I feel like that would make a better story for the movie. Like, he didn't. I'm saying he didn't say. They said it in the beginning. This is the first time he lost the fight.
You're saying he never.
You saying he actually saying it?
Because when he got to the door and they said Kal-El and they put him on the joint and they said play the thing that sues him with his parents. It's like, yo, if y'all took the time and had Superman like say to the robots, this is the first time I lost a fight. There wasn't any even kryptonite, and I've broken bones. Like I like this and this and this. And like, Kal-El, you're not 100%, but I got to get back out there. It's like, this is his first time losing the fight. He should have been shaken up because it's like, okay, and he should have been like, okay, maybe I got to let loose a little. I can't hold back. That should have been something that was stated, but they never said that. It is just like, oh, this is his first time losing a fight. And then he just goes about his day. Oh, I lost a fight. I just broke my fucking ribs and my spleen. Oh, well. What do you mean, oh, well? You just got your ass kicked without the use of kryptonite. You should be like, yo, who the fuck is this? Who is this Ultraman? I got X-ray vision. I ain't gonna look past the mask. Huh? Who is this Hammer of Bavaria? I'm not gonna fucking look through the suit and see what's going on. I'm not gonna tear the helmet off.
Yeah, why didn't he?
It's
use
like it
the
was just
X-ray
like,
vision
damn,
on him?
like when you think about it, he didn't use. Yeah, he got freeze breath. Yeah, he got heat vision. Use the X-ray vision. Who is this person I'm fighting that is beating my ass like this? And then if that's a revelation where he's like, okay, like it's me. It's like, okay, I got it. This has to be Lexus doing. He could boom. Like it's. I feel like they could have built more on the clone story. That's what I was saying. Like, granted, the message with his parents sent was stupid to do
Crazy.
that. But it was like, yo, now that you had the DNA and the clone, it was like you should have really just built up on that. By the way, Superman kills the nigga. Are we
I don't
forgetting
think.
that?
I don't think.
Hey,
I don't think he's actually dying. So allegedly,
he's not. It's gonna be Bizarro most likely.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. So potentially he's gonna be in. I can't remember what universe. Is it the negative? The negative
The
zone?
Phantom
Or is it
Zone.
the Phantom Zone that he's in, and that's where he
But
creates
it's a
his
black
world.
hole though.
It could
He
have
should
because,
be dead.
because it is technically Superman, so the nigga is damn near indestructible. Can he survive a black hole? Possibly. I don't necessarily know this nigga's power sets or anything, but how they was making it seem like unless the nigga's getting beat by his own self or is a block of kryptonite by that nigga, 9 times out of 10 that nigga surviving. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I just really felt like having a clone Superman, like that should have been a more driving fact. Because when the mask came off, it didn't feel like it was like earned, like it didn't feel like it
I
earned
get
any
that.
shock. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, you cloned the nigga, whatever. But had you really been like, had Superman fought the nigga twice and kept losing, he like, it's the first time in my life I've lost a fight. And then he looks under the mask, he's like, this is me, this is Lexus doing. Like he has to go to Lex and be like, what did you do? Such and such and such. What is this? Like
Yeah, they didn't really make a big deal out of it. I do
they
get.
didn't.
I
It
do
came
get
quick.
that.
It came way too, and it felt like Black Noir, like the nigga from The Boys. He just wasn't saying shit. He had one line the whole movie,
Mhm.
just talking as the Hammer of Bavaria, or that was like I guess a speaker from the chest or something. But it was
Yeah.
like he just had that, and it was like okay, well whatever. And then he found the girl. He heard her talking to Jimmy, and then he went over there, and it was like yo, like I get it's a Superman clone, but he shouldn't just be some toy that you have to fight Superman. Like it should be more. Like it should be more to this story.
But I think a lot of things in this movie were left to be in a way open because it is supposed to be a larger universe that they build in, and I do think that we can get a lot more answers to this. That's why I keep saying I wouldn't just like I would look at it as like this is kind of like a lighthearted introduction to not just Superman but the universe at large and the darker the details that you want, as my mom called it, the meat and gravy of the actual character. I think that you can possibly still get that and later material. It's just right now it's like I got 2.5 hours to essentially use the biggest character that I can, which is Superman, to kind of set the stage for everything else. Because you got Green Lantern, because Super Girl coming out next year, Green Lantern coming out next year. So it's like when you think about it, they had Supergirl at the end of it. They had Guy Gardner here. It's more like advertisement. Like I'm trying to advertise this universe, and I'm trying to do it in a fun, quirky Superman story. Which, like, in James Gunn's defense as well, y'all know I always say I think that DC is a little bit more serious than Marvel is. Superman is probably one of the more quirkier all in general all around. Like if you look at Metropolis has had a lot of goofy things happen within it, and even in the comic book realm. So I think it's James Gunn looked at it as that's more my bag. I need to introduce this universe. And I do agree with you. I think that there was a lot of things that were left open. We just gotta wait. We gotta wait to see how everything plays out.
And also throwing the fact that this is the lightest piece of content that they've added to the DCU system. The Suicide Squad wasn't a lighthearted movie. Creature Commandos.
Is that in this universe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they showed Peacemaker.
Yeah, they
And
showed
they-
Rick
Yeah, I was
Flag.
wondering-
They showed Rick Flag.
But I'm
from
saying
the,
I was
Creature
wondering
Commandos.
that too because I'm like they showed if Viola Davis, what's her name? What that girl
Yeah,
name
that's
is?
The
Amanda
Viola
Waller.
Davis
Amanda
was
Waller.
in Suicide. But I'm saying she was in Suicide Squad with David Ayer and the one with James Gunn. So I'm like, I didn't know if they were all from the same universe or is his the DCU, and then the DCEU just stopped at Black Adam type shit.
basically,
Because
I
I'm like,
believe.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
think so.
would be
launches
very
with
cool.
the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos. Like those are the canon things before Super. Besides that, nothing is
Because
official.
What about Blue Beetle though?
No.
yeah, they said Blue Beetle's in this universe too, though. That's the thing.
Is it? I mean, I know they're making a Blue Beetle like series, but is
No,
it going to be the
James Gunn
same
said
guy?
yes. James Gunn said this is the Blue Beetle that I'm going to be using. I swear he said that shit.
Okay,
That's why I was so
I know they
confused.
are.
I'm like,
They're working on a series, so I believe you.
because I'm like, if they using Viola Davis, but she was in David Ayer's joint, but he's keeping her because she was in Peacemaker and doing. That's why I was like, it don't seem like it's a hard enough reboot, but whatever.
What's your thoughts on Viola Davis, D?
Viola Davis. No, I'm joking.
Do y'all
I did not say
think?
that.
I know y'all might have some bad, or I mean, y'all might have some bad. What is it? Obviously thoughts, but damn, what
Impressions.
the impressions? Yeah, bad scores for the movie. But do you think that this was a good enough movie to kickstart the DCU?
I do.
I think it was.
It was decent.
I think it gets people interested, gets people curious.
I think this is the best movie they put out since the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, another question. What about you, D? Before I ask this other question.
I think so. I
think
really,
I agree
I really don't hope it's too many jokes in these next joints, though, bro.
I got you.
Not all of them will be. James
Yeah.
Gunn even said
I mean,
on
I
the
know
red
they not, but
carpet.
I think one thing they need to focus on for like, because granted, we got a lot of superhero films coming out over the next decade. You feel me? So it's like,
Mhm.
I feel like
Ja-
for DC, like you have some of the most recognizable characters: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, your Flash, your Green Lantern. Please work on a better fucking score for these movies, please.
I
I'm not
think
mad at that.
I think with James actually outsourcing for a lot of the characters, because he said that he hasn't really been able to get a connection with the character such as he did with Superman, and even then he was having difficulties at first until over time it actually started to work for him. So I think with the other more serious tone like Batman's, I think he's actually going to be outsourcing. There was already speculation that he was trying to get in contact with Ryan Coogler in order to direct something. So that just shows you where his ideology or where he's moving in regards to just the entire thing. If it was just James Gunn directing all of these shits, I
Yeah, fuck no.
wouldn't be as excited. But knowing that he's actually outsourcing and everything, that actually has me super excited. Not saying that James Gunn is just the shitty ass director or shitty ass movie maker. He's not. It's just his style is very catered towards white men,
Yes,
Just humor.
liberal white men in
especially
their
his comedy
50s.
stuff. Yo, it was white niggas in there. I couldn't even listen to the fucking words that was being said in the movie because niggas, white dudes was laughing OD. I'm like, that shit was not, it
Bro.
wasn't that funny. But I guess. Nonetheless, Man of Steel or this. I want to get away from comparing. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just too easy of a question to ask right now. Man of Steel or this Superman? Which one y'all
I mean,
taking?
they was two. They was. I
Two
would say
different
Man of
types of
Steel
movies.
because
That's
I
Two
really
different
like
types of
I really
movies.
like the action in there, but I feel like I would say the brightness in this movie. Man of Steel did feel boring and dull at times,
Mhm.
and it's like the action just kept you in there. For this one, it was just like, okay, there's more color, there's more going on, but it was just like the James Gunn style ain't really worked for me. I feel like if this was under a different direction, then probably yeah. But I'm taking Man of Steel.
I mean, personally, I think that Man of Steel had a better act. I think, I mean, I still personally like Cavill a little bit more than Corn,
Mhm.
but I still think that this is overall just like astronomically better script.
Mhm.
Um, I think this movie actually has personality instead of just age. So I'll take this one over it, man.
taking
And
Man
this
of
one,
Steel.
this Cowboy's Joint was an origin story too.
Yeah. I'm still up in the air. I'm low key. I wouldn't be appalled if I started to say this one. I'm not gonna lie. When you brought up the darkness of the Man of Steel in comparison to this film, that shit is an understatement. I'm not gonna lie. How bright this fucking film is a complete night and day in comparison to Man of Steel. And I think it makes the film lighter to the audience, makes the film lighter in general. I don't know. I'm still up in the air. I might be leaning towards this new Superman. I might. I do like the actor for the old one, Henry Cavill. I do like the action in that one. I do like the set pieces in that one and the stakes. The stakes felt super duper real in that film. And it stayed on your neck until the ending. I don't know though. This film did, outside of the quirkiness, outside of all of the James Gunn tomfoolery that comes with the James Gunn film, I thoroughly did enjoy this film still. So I don't know. I'm still up in the air.
There's element, based off everything that y'all saying, there's elements in Man of Steel that I liked, and there's elements in this that I like. That it's hard for me to really do a comparison, but the fact that this one does set, I at least believe that this one does set up the universe that James Gunn is gonna be creating. I feel like the fact that you have that element, I would probably lean in the long run. It's hard to answer that right now because it just came out.
Yeah,
It's hard to answer that right now, but I feel like in the long run, looking at how this movie sets up everything else, or if it does have that effect, that I would end up picking this movie over Man of Steel, which is crazy because I really did like Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel a lot. It wasn't like a great movie. I just am sometimes a sucker for like, I like action. I just like action. So that was it was a lot of action in that movie. So I like that one, but yeah, I don't know. I think right now, I don't know, but seeing how things progress in the future, probably this one.
What about you, T?
I'm taking Man of Steel.
Man of Steel still?
Yeah.
Let me check Superman box office. Let me see if we got any projections for this one. A lot of speculation that this is going to 217 million global opening. I'm gonna leave off with one more question and then we can get up out of here because we did go on a rant like T predicted. So you were right. You were right, T.
And I already know who the catalyst is gonna be. It's gonna be D.
All right, Superman powers to 217 million global. I think they were around a 220 to 250 million production budget. That's not including the marketing, so they'll have to probably surpass 500 million in order to become even with their profits. I'm just speculating right now. I could be wrong, but damn, I had a good question. Fuck, I just forgot it again. What the hell is going wrong? What the hell is going on with me?
Was in regards to
I actually do have a good question.
Gross.
Well, I do have a good question. With some of these movies and their Rotten Tomato scores, do you feel many of these movies match the scores that are shown on Rotten Tomatoes, or do you feel like they're blown up?
I just gave up on Rotten Tomatoes years ago.
Rotten
like being a horror
Tomatoes.
especially being a horror fan, a horror lover. Come on, like you can't do it. You can't. Yeah,
the only movies that they got right, and like especially with horror movies, is the A24 films like Hereditary and all that other stuff. That's the only ones that really they got right.
Yeah,
I couldn't give a fuck less about a tomato meter.
About who?
A tomato meter.
Oh yeah.
And I've realized that these people that, and I feel like this is what podcasts are needed for as well, like super fans of the film, because some of these things have agendas. Some of these review things have agendas. People, sometimes they want to push a film. Sometimes they're getting paid to not push a film or anything like that. Like, it's always a hidden agenda. And like IGN is one of the biggest review bomber things. And they just be fucking missing all the time. Like everybody's starting to not care about reviewers. Everybody's starting to get back their own intellectual capacity to be able to judge something and not give a fuck about what other people think about this shit. Sometimes you're gonna like some shit that people just don't like. and that's just life.
I mean, just with the internet in general right now, people are trending away from looking up views. People look up reaction.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
that's yeah, that's what people look
Mhm.
for.
Mm-hmm.
You rather
I,
have somebody else's reaction than your own.
yeah, I
I, I,
remember my question as well, and the box office had a part into it. All right, so we know Superman is 217 million. We talked about this before on the pod. Do y'all think if Superman keeps going and at least passes the 500 million, or even stays close to relatively where it's at right now, or just get a couple hundred milli added onto it, do you think that this incentivizes Sony to buy DC after the reception, the fan reception that Superman, the positive fan reception that Superman has been getting this past weekend?
No. If they buy DC, don't they gotta wouldn't they get rid of James Gunn?
No,
You know,
you don't
they
have
have to
to.
sell Spider-Man, but they wouldn't.
They have to sell
They'd probably keep the
Spider-Man.
DCU going.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why I'm asking, since Superman is getting this wide reception, this good reception, does Sony look and be like, hey, we've been trying to fuck around and make Spider-Man villain films, and without Spider-Man, and we're doing atrocious. We have somebody who already, one, has experience in the superhero genre of movie making with Marvel, two, has now released his own solo project outside of Marvel with DC, and it seems like it's on the right track. Do we just say fuck it because we're not going to make as much money making spin-off films with fucking Craven the Hunter and Madam Web and Morbius in comparison to the amount of money we'd
it's
make with the Wonder
Morbin
Woman
time.
film, Flash, with fucking Batman, with Martian Manhunter, with the Mr. Terrific film, even how niggas have been talking about him and how they've been liking him. DC
It
would probably make them
depends.
a lot more money. Plus, on top of that, Sony is not just a movie making company, it's also a game related company. You got Mortal Kombat, you got Harry Potter, you got Lord of the Rings, you got all of those IPs. So do y'all think it incentivizes them more to want to try and push that button to make it happen?
I
If
I
mean,
you
think it depends on the
DC, hmm,
It could. It could.
Sony has been incentivized to buy that since they saw the positive reception from The Last of Us season one on HBO. Like that's
That's true.
also a Warner Brothers property. So I mean,
hmm
there's always been reason for them to do it. It's just more so about like what's the return look like on that
Investment.
short term versus long term too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean that now Sony has to now fund the DCU from scratch, or is
That's
that
true.
coming over with some like the residuals from what DC's already done under Warner Brothers? I mean, it's a lot of questions that goes into it, but I mean, there's no question that it's an upgrade for Sony because I mean, what was the last good Sony put out?
right,
Into the Spider
Into the
Verse,
Spider-Verse, yeah.
and
yeah.
where is Across the Spider Verse?
Beyond the Spider-Verse is still
But
on the
Beyond, I'm
way.
sorry, Beyond. Yeah,
Now you
where's
good?
Beyond?
2027, we're supposed to get it.
Yeah, that's just speculated still, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think anything has really been started on it though.
No,
I
they
think
probably
they
got it
have been working
started.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
got
have
it
been
started.
working on
It's
it.
just that when are we
They're being
going to
tight-lipped about
release?
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's looking for June 4th, 2027. It's due to hit the big screen. Yeah, June 4th, 2027. So
If
that
I'm
is
if I'm
right
if I'm Sony, I would definitely want to pursue it just for the simple fact of, to O's point, what they gonna do? Just wait in between Spider-Man movies to actually have something that could be a hit, or they could have way more characters.
Mhm.
Especially if there's that argument that they could stay under the Gunn direction.
Mhm.
They keep all of that intact. You know,
I
it's
feel like
like,
they could,
yeah, I
yeah.
feel like that would be something that would be advantageous for them to also, to O's point, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, like the Last of Us, like the different games that come out that also have that affiliation with Sony, that would be attractive to me if I was Sony. Now, my thing though is with Superman doing well, do you think that Warner Brothers would kind of want to see how that goes first? Or do you think if Sony came to them with a big enough check, they would be like, yeah, no, let's do it right now?
I think how Warner Brothers has been moving in regards to, because Warner Brothers is heavy into the streaming field, obviously, heavy into the movie making film. I'm guessing they have their hands on the gaming aspect as well for some of these things. I don't necessarily know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they own their everything. Like, Nether Realms and
Yep,
what
that's
was
right.
the studio that made the Lord of the Rings games and the Arkham Asylum games? Like, I mean, that's all under
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, yeah. Which is a major incentive for Sony too, because I mean,
Yep.
Warner Brothers knows that their success rate for games post Arkham Asylum has not been great.
Yeah.
Fact.
I feel like WB has been missing a lot as of recently, so I feel like them getting this money, whatever the buyout will be for DC, will be astronomical. So that could get them into good footing in order to really focus on what they should, I guess, be focusing on, which is, I believe they did separate the two companies. One is the streaming side, the other is the more cable oriented side. I don't know, maybe they get more focused into the streaming business in regards to making movies like how Netflix makes movies. And I believe WB is in, I'm guessing they working with HBO in
Yeah, they own it.
capacity. Okay, they own it. So maybe they start creating more native films for HBO to combat Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and all of these other different places that are creating shows, creating movies that are actually hitting, getting people more subscribed, because that's the name of the game now.
Isn't HBO Max with the same side as DC though, in regards to the split?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So that would be gone too. I don't like, in terms of the Warner Brothers side. The only thing that I could see is if you just wanted to, like, if they said, okay, like things like TNT, different like sports, and to your point, cable aspects, they wanted to just invest more money, and selling off everything would give them the opportunity to invest more money into that side that they just aren't yet ready to give up on. If it were to be something like that. But outside of that, that's why I was saying to y'all before, I'm just like, I think it's too many properties to where if Superman were to be successful, which it looks like it has been successful and it has been well received, that to me, if I'm Warner Brothers, would be enough to be like, maybe we just see if we could get something cracking here. Because if they can get something cracking with the comic books, that can buy them some time for HBO Max content that's not comic book related.
Mm-hmm.
I could possibly buy them some time with Harry Potter.
Sony also doesn't have a streaming service, so this would be their opportunity to get.
No,
to get
they actually do.
Sony owns Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
Crunchyroll, yeah, but that's the anime side. I probably
but
like
Sony
more
also
live.
does have their own little streaming service on the PlayStation. They have some movies up there. If you got the PlayStation Premium subscription, there's some movies up there under Sony that you can watch on there.
It makes a lot of sense for Sony. Does it make a lot of sense for Warner Brothers? And I just don't know.
I guess it all depends on the financial landscape that they find themselves in right now, currently. Because if Superman don't make fucking
Billy?
if they don't come even, I'm sure WB is a lot more inclined to sell that motherfucker off. I'm sure they would be. And Sony is one of the few companies that will be able to have the capital to be able to do that. On top of fucking dropping the last Spider-Verse film, they're most likely getting the Billy Plus off of that motherfucker. They would leave off with good terms with the fans. So I guess at least it'll bring down any type of fear or worry. Not as much as it is right now when we look at Sony films.
And it would have to be a sell, correct? Or would they just have to like surrender it? Or is it like a forced sell, or is it a surrenderance if they were to take on Warner Brother or DC properties and still have Spider-Man, because they can't have both. I get that. How does that work?
I'm still
I'm
trying
pretty
to.
sure it'd be a forced sale. Like they'd have
For sale?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, for Sony, I agree with y'all. For Sony, there's a lot of elements to it that make a lot of sense. Because imagine the sell, even if you got to do it on a compromise number, because you got this bigger property coming in, the sale from Spider-Man should still give them a decent amount of money to get everything going for what they will want to be doing for the DC side and the other
A
properties
nice
that they will
down payment.
own. Yeah.
A nice down payment. Would y'all like it? I know I asked this question before. Oh, I never asked you this question, and then we could go off. Would you like it if Sony actually bought them? If specifically they allowed James Gunn to keep the reins on the DC live action properties and the animated properties?
I mean, I think it'd be interesting. I'm curious to know what games will come from that because there's a lot of options from what could happen on that software side of that. I'm also curious to know what type of movies and series will come of that. So I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool to at least see what it would look like.
Damn, Apple is in the process as well, or in the runnings to trying to outbid them for it. Yeah, supposedly this split is going to happen officially by mid 2026. So it's still in the works. They obviously have to go through all of the contracts, contractual things and everything, business side, all that jazz. So it hasn't fully happened yet. I'm guessing they're just fielding offers to see if anybody wants to acquire them. So
Okay.
I'm curious. I think
Yeah.
if Sony doesn't shoot themselves in the foot like how they always do, if they actually just let James Gunn, somebody who looks like he actually cares about this shit, have the reins, I don't see an issue with it. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
and to add the interest that we were kind of discussing before, and I know we talked about this on the podcast before as well. The animated side, I'd be very curious after seeing how Sony has the commitment with a cinematic animation, going ahead and doing a cinematic animation film. It'd be interesting to see some of these DC stories from the
We'll take the
animated
animation
side.
to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely want to see that.
I mean, so we've already seen the success of Into the Spider-Verse.
Mhm.
You might actually would see that Batman Beyond one that was if Sony was to get that.
That'd be fucking cold. So Sony's animation team with fucking
Or-
a Batman or a Green Lantern.
I imagine Naughty Dog getting Static to work on. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be cold. Or a fucking Flash game. We haven't gotten a Flash game or a Superman game since I've been fucking in diapers damn near.
Fact.
Yeah, that's okay. We don't.
You're like, I don't want them to
listen.
do that to my niggas. I don't want them to do that to my niggas. But hey, hopefully we shall see as time will tell. But if you haven't gone to see Superman or haven't gone to the movies to see Superman, no, we probably, you might as well go check it out just to see how it is. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and hate poo all over the film. Most of the guys feel like it was a pretty solid film. The others don't necessarily feel that way, and that's okay. You can watch that movie for yourself and make your own judgments. It's all good in my book, all right? But we appreciate y'all yet again. Episode 72, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Appreciate O from Blurred, content director. Appreciate you again for always stopping by and giving us your knowledge on the situation and all the topics that we have. Do you have anything coming up that you want to shout out real quick for Blurred?
Yeah, look out for the info for our Marvel Rivals tournament coming up next. If you got your squad and you want to enter, there are still spots left. Have a good time. You want to look at blurred.com. It's always new content going up that way.
All right, appreciate that.
Shout out to Blurred for our 6-year anniversary. Here's a continue to grow and build and figure all this shit out.
6 years, the big 6 years. I'm trying to find a golf clap. I'm sorry. There we go. Appreciate you for whoever did that. Congratulations for the 6 years. Thank y'all for staying. If you haven't, please hit that like and subscribe button. We greatly appreciate that. Again, Code Red, shout out to you. Always, for the most part, always stopping by, always commenting. If you want to comment while we talking, and we gonna bring you up, so you might as well comment. If you think that we dumb as shit, let us know that we dumb as shit, so we can rebuttal your ass.
No. Let Sage know he's dumb. And I know I'm
He said, don't
sorry.
tell me nothing.
All right. We probably will be back here at our regular scheduled program time. We got 2 weeks until Fantastic Four too, so get all
Can we
y'all.
take bets on that before we go? What's going to be better between this and
yeah.
Fantastic Four?
Let's go. Box office wise.
Box office and quality. Let's do both.
This nigga stay with the box office.
But I mean, it is a marker. It's not a big marker for me, but it is a marker. I think Fantastic Four is probably blowing this shit out the water. Both.
Fact.
I agree, but I feel like my reasoning is a little different. Superman kind of had it tough with the Jurassic Park, and then you got to follow that up with and then
Too bad,
Fantastic
nigga. What
Four.
you think gonna do better?
No, I said my answer. I said both. I said Fantastic Four for both.
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
I think commercially, Fantastic's going to do better at the box office. Quality of film, I think this is going to be better. I have very low faith. I think the casting for Fantastic Four was wrong on every single character.
Really?
Okay.
I don't think anyone is the right person. Maybe Sue. We'll see how she turns out. But like, this is the worst thing we've ever seen. This is by far the nitpicking over actual characters being casted versus he took too many. When he's supposed to be presented with a challenge.
But I got
outside
a question.
Of Pedro, I don't know anything about him.
I got a question. With you're saying this is the worst thing that we had. Which thing out of the last two Fantastic Four iterations was a good thing?
I would take any of those before this one.
Whoa! Okay.
Wow.
We haven't even watched it yet.
Time out though. For the look or for the actor?
The actor.
Oh, the actor. Oh, I thought you talking about the look of the thing.
I don't know enough to combat anything that he's saying right now. Only one I know.
My thing is, I thought Otis. I thought you took it as how the thing looks.
The aesthetic. This is the worst looking thing we've seen. I'll take the Power Rocks that we got with Michael Jordan over this shit.
Whoa.
I don't agree with that part.
Whoa.
He literally looks the same one out of the.
I thought this is the most comic accurate. I thought this is the most comic accurate we've seen the thing.
The skinniest version of the thing I've ever seen portrayed. His voice is like higher pitched than
It's
Mickey
the voice,
Mouse.
facts.
Like, nah, bro. Like, nothing about this is the Big Grim that I know. And Johnny, this is the corniest Johnny.
Johnny do look a little weird. I ain't gonna hold you.
The best, in my opinion, the best Johnny was Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans. There's no question. No question.
I think with the marketing though, it's probably a reason why you feel that. I feel like with marketing Superman, I feel like it showed a lot more than what we've been getting from the marketing from Fantastic Four. They show bits and pieces, but you don't really get a resounding outlook on any of the characters yet. So we might have to have you back on after the Fantastic Four, see if you still have those feelings, and see if
I'll definitely slide back for that.
He's like, no. I'm confident about this one.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that Fantastic Four is going to be another bad movie.
I've heard a lot of. He's not the only one that felt that way though. I have heard that more as we gotten closer to the film. It's kind of like the opposite. Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite that happened with Superman. I heard more people have more confidence as the film went on, and I've seen more people have less confidence for Fantastic Four as the film is approached.
I'm not gonna some of these fucking things.
I still think it's gonna be good.
Like some of the fucking shots that they got in this fucking film is phenomenal, dog.
He said it's not enough if they don't got good chemistry. This the first family.
You got Pedro Pascal. That
I mean,
nigga's been on a fucking.
what was the last Batman? The Batman. Dark Knight Rises had some fantastic shots. Still shitty movie.
That is true.
The second
It can't happen.
movie
That is
generation
true.
was
It
the best
can't
one.
happen.
But my thing is, if we're talking Dark Knight, it's 2, 3, 1. The first one was me. Second one's the best.
The first one is melatonin.
Yeah.
That
First
ass,
one-
I did go to sleep in that hoe.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one was.
Mm-mm.
But that second
All right.
one, fire.
All right, so now we know we will have O back on the podcast to get his thoughts on this Fantastic Four film. You saying box office wise, Fantastic Four is going to do better, but the actual movie is going to be shittier than Superman.
100%.
All right, so we will come back on this. We gotta let me write this down. We will come back to this, and then we will figure out. I mean, it could still be the same thing, but I just want to see if he changes his mind. Hopefully, because I got this Marvel paycheck in my back pocket. Hopefully, he changed his mind. Hopefully, I'll be able to swing him on the other side. But we gonna see. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all yet again. Episode 72. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week. We will be back with some anime games. Me and Nara was just cooking up another one for y'all. So. Next time we have some guests, or even we do 2v2 on the podcast with just the members we got today, then we could do that. But appreciate y'all yet again. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week. Peace.
All right, so let's do this. In.
Trash bags of that green, whipping fast, the whip color of cocaine. I'm independent, they independent to start these dreams. On the road to riches, focus on the ticket, maximize my means. It's like now I'm just trying to flow. There's a couple holes up in this boat. Dose my mind just so I can cool. They focus on the dollar, feel like I'm a migrant.